All right, welcome to the next video. This one is going to be about adding assignments as well as organizing them and seeing how that looks. I just want to apologize for the video quality. I've noticed it's actually quite blurry and I'm not too sure how to fix that. My recording program and my editing program I think are a little bit incompatible. I don't really have a professional setup here, but I'm doing my best for this. So hopefully you can still follow along even when it is blurry a bit, especially on the text I've noticed. But it looks a little bit better on YouTube, so hopefully it's just a editing thing. So I'm going to show you what it looks like to post material and assignments on Google Classroom. So I'm going to show you my archived class, my geography, and kind of what it looks like. So you can see I haven't made it so students could ever respond to anything. So my stream is just a list of things of posting new assignments. The classwork, there's a few different ways that it can show up. You can organize them or just have them chronological. I like having them organized so that students can see where everything is. Some of these are resources, so not assignments, and some of them are assignments themselves. So if I click on something like my biomes project, oops, maybe not that one, I have different files. So project, PowerPoints that I've posted just as a resource, and all that looks like is an uploaded version of the material, which is awesome. There are comments that can be made below them, or they can message you, but it can be just hosted on there. And so I find it really useful. So we are going to do that on our example webpage now. I have been posting some things. I have some people that I can use as guinea pigs now, including some fake students here. So that will help show me what it looks like to assign things. Another thing I want to mention is you can also add other teachers. Now, I believe other teachers can look at the gradebook, but I have Kari and Dave on some of my classes, and it's just helpful for them to look at students that they have assigned to them and kind of make individual assignments, but they'll have to be SST team. So I'm just going to go to classwork now. The stream has announcements and everything, so you can create your assignments and questions. You can use topics to organize classwork into modules or units, and you can order the way students can see them. I still have Google Meet visible, so that's also up there, which is awesome. I'm going to just click create and create a few assignments. So, I should go back there. When I click on create, you can see I have a few options. I have assignments, I have quiz assignments, I have questions, I have material, and I have reuse posts and also creating topics. If you want to organize everything right away, you can simply do that here and go projects. If you want to organize it by theme, what you can also do after this is done is hit create and add the week that it's going. So week of, because we're only going till tomorrow because it's technically a long weekend somehow, till April 9th, whenever. And I'm sorry if you can hear that. I have a cat who wants in the window very badly, and I am ignoring her. So, here are some topics that we can add things to, but let's create a few assignments. To show how they work. So you can put the instructions in there, or maybe you have created a Word document and wish to add it there. So I can just go add. You can either get it from your Google Drive. If you've created something there like a spreadsheet or anything else, you can create have a link to a site. So if you're using Google Sites and you want the student just to look at that, you can just click on link, post it there, and those will be the instructions. You can add a YouTube file, and you can also just add a regular file and go into your files and add something there to give sort of any feedback. I like adding rubrics, I like adding instructions there, but you just select files from your device. Select, oh, those are all my video files. Select from wherever you want to pick something. Anything in here will help you to give it to the students so that they have some context behind it. So you can add a YouTube file if you're doing a video tutorial, you can add a file, you can add multiple things in there just to give context. Here, you can also decide if it's going to be for all students or just if you are adapting a project for someone, you can just assign it to a few students. Category. This is where you can pick where it's going to go. If you don't pick a category but want to move it later, you can do that. So let's just say it's going to go in here. So this is for our grade book, remember, the grade category. And you can also decide how many points it's worth. Or if you're just providing formative feedback and not going to give any sort of numbered grade to it, you can also just click ungrade it. So it will show up as an assignment a student must do, but they will not receive a number for it. You can also decide the due date. Let's say it's today at noon, very close. And then decide which topic it shows up in your assignment. So I'm just going to put week of dash dash dash. You can add a rubric here. I haven't done it this way because it's from Sheets. You can create rubrics, so you can reuse rubrics. I haven't played around with this too much, but I'm curious to know how other people are using that. Usually I just create a rubric on Word and then add it into here for students to see, but this is actually a quicker way, well, sometimes quicker, a more direct way to add the rubric information and use the scoring there and then have some different criteria. So I haven't played around with that too much. It's been something that I've been meaning to look at, but it's something that I will probably try in the future. This is also a new feature. It's originality report. So if you click on this, you get 3 assignments per class that you can add an originality report to. So that is a plagiarism lookup sort of thing. So if you have an assignment that you are really concerned about plagiarism with, that someone's just copied and pasted directly from Wikipedia and you want to tell them to stop, you can turn on originality reports and just see if what shows up. So it searches through Google's database, which is obviously huge, and sees if the words are directly the same as someone else's. I have not used this yet because I was waiting to use my 3 for some bigger assignments, but it's something that was just added just after Christmas, I think. So that's a fun new feature as well. So I'm going to click assign. And I'm just going to create 2 more assignments just so we can see what it looks like in the gradebook. Let's say this will be a test. Also due today. And then topic. Up here, this is if you want to schedule create an assignment but then don't want students to see it until later. You can also save a draft or discard a draft. So if you are working on something but you don't want it to go live just quite yet, you can do that. And actually, let's try some of the other assignments. So these are graded things. For the quizzes, I haven't used this too much, but there's a locked mode for Chromebooks. Obviously, we're not on Chromebooks, all of us, so it'll be a bit different. Google Classroom can import grades from assignments, so that means the assignment will automatically be scored and then go directly into your gradebook. I'm just going to call this quiz test. And clicking on that blank quiz, it's just going to take us to Google Forms and give us some options. Now, locked mode means that they wouldn't be able to go to different tabs, but it can also screw things up a little bit if they already have a tab open and haven't closed everything down. So this is just instructions, untitled question, red or blue. And you can decide on if there's a picture, if you want to scan something in. You can just give some multiple choice. You can give check boxes if there is more than one response. There's also some drop down and some other things. I haven't done too many quizzes through there, but again, it's something that you can experiment with now that we are at our different times. Over here you can add questions, import questions from other files that you have, add titles and descriptions, add images, add videos, add sections. But yeah, there is many things that you can do. So we have our two options and your answer key. We're just gonna say blue for that one. We can also add how many points that's worth. I'm gonna say that's worth 100. I don't know why. You can give some feedback as well. It is blue because I felt like it. So this is the response you get if you get the incorrect answer. And if you get the correct answer, if you want, you can also add some information. So you can do something if a student gets a quiz wrong. These are more like formative quizzes. So if a student gets an answer wrong, you can add a YouTube video or link with why they got it wrong and what they can do to get it right. Or same with correct answers as well, just to enforce anything or teach them something new. So going through that's how it works. You can also see responses here from students. So I am going to, if you want to preview what the quiz looks like to students, let's answer wrong. Oh, it's just taking a bit. This is what it will look like for students, probably just as slow. Gonna hit submit. Your response has been recorded. You can also just go view score and go, it's wrong. Feedback, it is blue because I felt like it. So that's quizzes there. Again, I haven't played with quizzes too much, but it is an interesting sort of thing that is available to you. There are limitations, but there's also a bunch of fun data that you can add to this. And then I'm going to put that into tests, put that into our week, make it due, let's say Friday. Give them a very late opportunity to answer, and then hit assign. Oh, and you can also add originality reports onto that, so that's interesting. If you put an assignment in the wrong place and you want to put it in a different category, all you have to do is drag and drop. So click on the assignment, wait until it's gray in the other part, and then it can just go in there. So if you are like me sometimes and lazy and you just create an assignment and you want students to start working on it right away and you don't want to organize it or decide what grades it's worth yet, you can just create it and then edit it afterwards, though make sure you're telling students what you are changing, just so it's not confusing to them. Now, grading something. I'm going to go to the gradebook now, and then we are going to see those assignments I have just assigned. Now, not available or not applicable just means that we have made assignment 1 an ungraded assignment. But if I change it to 10, I'm going to click update, and now it's going to have some value to it in terms of a number. Going back to Google Classroom, again, I'm hitting on grades to get to the grade book. Each assignment up here has something that you can click on. You will also get an overall grade for the class and no grade right now because we haven't marked anything. Now, there are a bunch of ways that you can mark through Google Classroom, which I really appreciate it. You can either do it assignment by assignment, or if a student has handed you in a whole bunch of work, you can find their name on the grade book, and you can just, with your marking, type it in to there. Now my internet's going pretty slow right now, so it is, there we go. So I can just go, oh, so good, and then let's say not as good as that one, and then 9 on that one. These are weighted. Again, remember we picked our weighting on the last video to say that those are worth 50-50. And you'll notice that when I put something in, it's now a draft format. That means that I've marked them, but the student can't see that mark quite yet.